Right now I'm standing in Shippensburg Borough, but over here I'm now in Shippensburg Township where the rules apply. So to clear up any confusion, officials are handing these out. And you can learn a lot on YouTube, like how to fold a week's worth of clothing for your vacation and bring it onto a carry-on. But that's not the only thing. You can also learn how to change your oil. You'd think the store was closing for good. Right now, it's closing time, but look inside. There are still people in there trying to get their hands on some Chick-fil-A. What a difference. The people who live in this neighborhood tell me that overnight it went from violent to very peaceful, and they're hoping it stays that way even after these guys leave.
Now to the Jerry Sandusky child sex abuse scandal. Thousands of Penn State supporters are fighting the findings of the Free Report and challenging the NCAA sanctions.
Yeah, the leader of this task force sat down and spoke only with CBS 21's Eva Roman about their plan of action.
And Eva is live for us tonight with the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Harrisburg with more on this exclusive story. Eva.
Robin, Tanya, this group is 8,500 strong. They say, look, Penn State never fought the sanctions. They waved the white flag, so to speak, and gave up. They say, we are not giving up that easily. Penn Staters for Responsible Stewardship first started out as a small grassroots group back in November when the grand jury indictment against Jerry Sandusky came down. It now has 8,500 members, a mix of alumni, those who never attended Penn State, and many lawyers, including Robert Tribeck.
In the aftermath of November events, we alumni who were horrified by the allegations that were in the grand jury presentment.
The Penn State supporters don't support Sandusky. They don't support the Free Report either, saying there are too many holes. Tribeck says key players weren't interviewed, including Joe Paterno, and the two top officials who have yet to see their day in court, Gary Schultz and Tim Curley.
We are identifying additional people that should have been interviewed, additional documents perhaps that should have been reviewed.
That's why the group has launched their own investigation, and they're starting by asking Penn State trustees for information about how they came to the decision of hiring Free and his law firm. And this lawyer isn't alone. Tribeck says in the past 5 days, he's received calls from about 50 lawyers from around the world, all who want to get in on this. They're doing research and right now only considering taking legal action in hopes to overturn the NCAA sanctions against Penn State. It's something these Penn State supporters had hoped the university would have done.
Along the same lines of our concerns about the Free Report was Penn State's apparent blanket acceptance of it without even reviewing it for accuracy. And then the NCAA's almost immediate blind acceptance of it without even reviewing it for accuracy.
Now, the group adds that they believe that the Free Report and NCAA turned what Sandusky did into a football program issue instead of an administrative issue. Of course, more is expected to come out of this group down the road, and CBS 21 News will bring you the story as it develops. For now, we are live with the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Harrisburg. Eva Roman, CBS 21 News.
So I have an 8-count nugget and a large vanilla shake with toppings. Okay, that's everything.
Morgan is taking orders on her cell phone. She says with long lines of vehicles wrapped around Chick-fil-A, it's a lot faster.
Yeah, it's crazy, but you gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta support your Christian beliefs.
Lines of people spilled out of the restaurant as well. They were here to show support for the founder's son and Chick-fil-A president Dan Cathy, who was quoted in the Baptist Press last month saying, "We are very much supportive of the family, the biblical definition of the family unit. We are a family-owned business, a family-led business, and we are married to our first wives. We give God thanks for that." The people here agree and are showing their support by ordering off the menu.
I just believe they're a great organization, and I think that somebody ought to have the ability to stand up for whatever their beliefs are, and it shouldn't impact their business.
I think the past maybe 5-10 years definitely, we've been asked to tolerate a lot of things, and I don't disagree with somebody saying what they believe.
But there were a few people here who are pro-gay marriage. Instead of protesting, though, they joined the crowd.
Just because I feel that protest has a negative connotation. So if I stand here and I tell these people that they're wrong for what they're doing, then I'm wrong for what I'm doing.
It's all about just being happy who you are and the way you want to be happy. And when someone's against it, that's fine, but we're not against it, and we just want to let people know.
CBS 21's Eva Roman was there during the interview. She's live now at the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Harrisburg with more on this story, which continues to develop. Eva?
Wow, Rob, this case is definitely taking on some new twists and turns. Courtney's parents tonight revealed that aside from police and her neighbor, there is a third person now who may have been among the last to see Courtney before she disappeared. It was inside the WITF building in Swidera Township, Dauphin County, where Wendy and Scott Stauffer did their interview live with CNN, pleading with the public to help bring their 21-year-old daughter, Courtney Stauffer, home.
It just feels, as a mom, it's just taking so long to find answers, to get help.
Courtney has been missing since July 29th. Early that morning, she returned to her Palmyra apartment after a night out with friends. Her family says she had an argument with a downstairs neighbor, and police showed up to calm things down. That was after 3 a.m. Then a second disturbance call. When officers arrived then, it was quiet. Police allegedly knocked on doors. No one opened them, so they left. Courtney's mother now wonders, could the second disturbance call to 911 been Courtney screaming or calling for help? Courtney's mother and father also say that their daughter has a boyfriend. He wasn't there, though. He has an alibi. There was another man at her place who had stayed the night.
And my son started going back through the phone calls from the previous night in Texas, and we started tracking down a group of people that she was with. And then as a result, I ended up finding out that she didn't stay alone that night.
When he left around 7:30 a.m., Courtney wasn't there. Courtney's parents say police have video of him texting their daughter from a store near her apartment, saying he'd left and didn't see her, asking her what happened.
With the help of the Palmyra Borough Police, I tracked down a trail where he went, and he's been cooperative, but it just doesn't make sense. And they were able to verify where he was at the store, so the times all fit.
It's just so strange that she could just disappear, just fall off the earth, and nobody heard anything, nobody saw anything, nobody knows anything, nobody's talking. Someone knows something.
Before you post any kind of how-to video on YouTube, you should first watch how to make a how-to. Uploaded by the Curtain Guy, you can find some great tips on lighting and where to sit.
I have my pinky finger on the 3rd fret B string.
If you're using a webcam, look at the camera, not yourself. Remember to edit, especially those parts when someone interrupts you.
Can you hold this for me? Hey, thanks, buddy. Hey, what are you doing, making a YouTube tutorial?
Yeah.
But don't over-edit.
Today, I'm going to teach you a guitar.
And you can learn a lot on YouTube, like how to fold a week's worth of clothing for your vacation and bring it onto a carry-on. But that's not the only thing. You can also learn how to change your oil. How about learning the moonwalk?
Now all you need is some practice. Don't worry if you don't get it straight away.
Or how to remove scratches from any DVD.
All right, after a few minutes, open up the CD.
It's amazing just what you can learn when you log on to YouTube and start typing.
So it's pretty self-explanatory there.
It's something many people already do.
I was looking at last night how to clean stainless steel refrigerators.
I learned how to tie a tie for him.
I have, a 984 Explorer. It's an old car, and like some things like I know how to do and sometimes I don't. So what I go do is go on YouTube.
Now here's something very interesting about YouTube you may not know. More video content is uploaded to YouTube in 60 days than all 3 major networks have created in the last 60 years. That's kind of a crazy statistic there. Also, the average person spends about 15 to 25 minutes a day on that website. Live with the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Harrisburg, Eva Roman, CBS 21 News.